Yo, what's up guys? I'm here with a new video. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do a reaction video to this video called The Hidden Truth Behind the Flawed League of Legends Ranked System. I know this person, they're a small content creator like me, and I know that they're pretty low elo, so I'm kind of curious what they would have to say about the system. So let's just start the video. I think this might be funny or like fun to do, but yeah, let's just start.
Today we're going to be talking about why we can't climb out of low elo. We're going to look at it from a little bit of a different perspective than we just suck at playing the game and our monitors are turned off and we have no hand. The guys that are saying that to you are already in high elo or are doing well, so it just fits their narrative. I play with guys that are much higher elo than me. I hear from them how much harder it is to carry these games when you have lanes that are going 0-20, 0-15 in 12 minutes of the game. There's
He just said a lot of stuff there. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what his point here is. He's saying the games are harder when someone goes 0-20. Yeah, it is. It is hard in any elo if someone goes 0-20. Not really sure what the point of that was, but okay.
some truth to the fact that if you're stuck in low elo, you're probably not a very good player. And I don't disagree with that statement. There's some problems with the way that the system works, and it is possible to get stuck. Low elo is full.
Yeah, let me stop him right there. Don't get me wrong, there's for sure problems with the rank system. No rank system in any game is perfect. But to say that anyone is stuck because of the rank system is just not true. That no one is stuck in any elo because of the rank system. That is not how the game works.
Of people smurfing, boosting, duo queue abusers, literal bots, teammates that go AFK, inters, and all sorts of other stuff. And
I'm not gonna lie, I am guilty of smurfing and duo queuing. And honestly, I've boosted people before as well. I am a horrible person. Yeah.
the worst part is that these games affect some sort of hidden MMR system that Riot won't release the details of, assumably because it's abusable, which is why they don't want you to know how it works.
That was a bit weird what he said. He just said that the people, when you get in those games where people grief or duo queue. Also, I don't know what duo abuse means, because everyone can duo. Everyone has the potential to duo with someone. Don't really understand what that meant. But yeah, he's not wrong. I mean, those games affect your hidden MMR. Every game you play affects your hidden MMR. So I guess he's not wrong there.
Recently, with one of the tickets that I had sent to Riot, I received a response saying that Riot is still putting people into separate queues. The computer system is actually trying to put you into a queue. So if you go on a win streak, heaven forbid they put you in a boosters queue. And is there a losers queue?
Yeah, that was funny. Technically, I think that is true. There are multiple queues, but I don't think he understands why those queues are there. Those queues are actually put in place to help people like him that are stuck in bronze, so he doesn't get matched with those Smurfs, right? Tries to make the Smurfs face other Smurfs. That's kind of the point of those queues. You don't really get in Smurf queue by winning like 4 games in a row randomly when you are 600 games in bronze 2. Not really how it works again. Then he randomly finishes off with, is there a losers queue? I mean, I don't really want to get into that, but sure.
Look at this match I played the other day. The opposing team has 2 iron players and 3 gold players, and my entire team is all full bronze. Why?
Okay, that is a bit interesting. You can't really see it, but below me, this guy is bronze 3, and then that guy is bronze 2. Matches can look like this sometimes, I guess, but you have to keep in mind the visual rank doesn't mean a lot when it comes to league matchmaking. It doesn't really matter. I myself have been an emerald player in a full diamond lobby. I've been an emerald player in a full masters lobby. You don't really get matched off of your visual rank. It just doesn't work like that. Most these people in this game will probably have a similar MMR, which kind of like rounds up to their skill level. Could it be that it's sometimes a little bit unbalanced in one person's favor or like one side's favor? Sure, it's not perfect. I do think it's kind of unfair or misleading to like nitpick one specific game where the balance is a little bit off, because I could go to his OPWG right now, which I will quickly do, and look at like, let's say, oh my god, oh, okay, that's not pretty, but no worries. Let's take a look at like the actual balancing. I mean, this looks pretty balanced overall. Most people are bronze, some iron players in there. What about this one? This looks almost like a literal mirror match. This is actually kind of crazy. I've never seen a more balanced game. Everyone is bronze. Not a really well-made visual one. Everyone is bronze. I'll do one more. Everyone is bronze. So to say that his games look like this, sometimes maybe, but I mean, I just showed more. I'm not nitpicking either. I just looked at the 4 most top games that he just played, and they don't look like this at all.
Why on earth are they putting 2 iron players and 3 golds, and then they call that good matchmaking? So let's
also want to mention real quick that these people are gold, but they're bare minimum of gold, right? They're gold 4. And let's say this guy is bronze 1. Let's say this guy is 1 tier higher, and the other guy who are gold are slightly like 1 tier lower, so silver 1. Then you would already have like a silver 4 player versus a silver 1 player. And then it's like, okay, well, that doesn't even sound that unbalanced. It kind of just looks unbalanced because it's like gold and iron, but it's also kind of like, sure, there's like probably a little bit of a skill gap between iron and gold players, but realistically, the skill gap between all the lower elos is not that high.
Let's say that you play 6 games a day. One of those games you have a bot, and one of those games you have an inter, and then you have an AFK player, and then you have a smurf or a booster. You can end up playing 6 games and have 4 of those games be completely out of your control. Your MMR is
I mean, technically, you could play 100 games and they would all be out of your control if you are the most unlucky person on the planet and get 100 AFKs in a row. I'm interested in this picture though. This seems like the most made-up graph I've ever seen in my life. Don't know what this is. But if you can read all, it says any bot. I don't really know what that means. Raging Inter runs it down mid, AFK player and Smurf cheater. First of all, Smurf and cheater is a very different thing. These should not be the same category. There's very little cheaters, especially in bronze. This whole picture seems really weird. I don't really know how else to put it. Is he implying that every 6 games is this? Is this all the 6 games every single like the cycle? Because with this logic, you should be Iron 4 because you're never gaining LP. Doesn't really make sense. Also, how come you don't get LP from those people being on the enemy team? Like, how come there's no AFKs on the enemy team? It's only on his team? That doesn't really make any sense. You gotta keep in mind when you're playing solo with 4 randoms, you are taking up 1 spot of the team. So let me draw this out like you are 3 years old real quick. Like, what do I mean with that? Imagine this is you, you're the red player, and the rest is completely random. Technically, the odds are in your favor to not get an AFK or an inter or a griefer or someone that's a bot, right? Because there's 4 people, 4 spots on your team, and 5 on the enemy team. I guess you could argue you have less chance to get a smurf, but more often than not, the odds should be in your favor. So I don't really know why he made it look like you are losing more LP than gaining because of this, because everyone has AFK. Also, I completely forgot that this is mostly about low elo. This happens in every game. There's griefers and inters in Masters, they're in Diamond. It doesn't really get better the higher up you go. Although I'd have to admit I've never seen an actual bot in my games. But yeah, again, like I said, this seems like the most made up random stats that I've ever seen in my life.
Then you have a smurf or a booster. You can end up playing 6 games and have 4 of those games be completely out of your control. Your MMR is not getting any better. Your LP gains are continuing to either stay the same or going down.
Right, but what about, I mean, again, he's technically correct, I guess, assuming that most games that you play are all filled with either a griefer, a cheater, an AFK, a booster, or a duo queue abuser, as he calls it, or an anti-bot, which is just not really the case. That, I mean, sure, it happens to everyone, and sure, that does happen, but not for the majority of your games. That's just impossible. That's not the game.
League for 10 to 12 games a day. It's all in low elo. I have gone back through my games and counted which games had levers, bots, level 30 accounts that go 20-0, and then looked at how many of the games I was in a position to win. Looked at how much LP I'm gaining per match based off of my win rate, which is based off of those games. The system is...
So that is kind of interesting because he kind of made it sound like he's just losing a lot of LP and MMR because of those griefers and trolls. But with that logic, how does anyone actually climb in the game? How come people can get past bronze but not him? Because we all get the same people, we all get the same griefers. How come the system is busted for him, but when I play it, it's not busted for me because I can easily climb? Doesn't that just mean that it's not busted? Also, just not to like brag or anything, but I've played in every elo. I've played in Diamond. I've played in Master. I've also played, like I said earlier, I'm a bad person. I've played on people's accounts in Bronze. This is not a Smurf account, and I can go 30-0 there and just win. Like, if you are good, you will climb. You will. No one is stuck because of these AFKs. It's just not. It's not real. That's not how it works.
Busted. Now, Riot knows the system is full of Smurfs and boosters, and some of the biggest abusers of this are actual content creators. What's funny about it is that you can make new league accounts and you don't have to validate an email address for it. So let's think about that for a minute. It's 2023.
2024
What
now.
kind of accounts can you sign up for in 2023 and not need to validate an email? Look at Clash accounts. You have to have a phone number on the account.
Okay, so this is actually interesting. I mean, first of all, you can make you do need an email for a league account, right? You need to sign up with an email. You have to give something in there, I think. You don't have to confirm it, I think. I think that's true. He has a point there. But I don't really see how confirming an email would prevent smurfing or boosting, because it's really, really easy to just make a throwaway email account. Like, that would not really change anything. Then he mentions Clash, which requires a phone, which is true. And Riot did that specifically because they wanted Clash to feel like esports for casual players. Like, you get the tournament feeling, even though you're just like a normal player, right? So they wanted to keep the integrative, what do you call it, the competitive integrity by making sure you aren't really versus Smurfs. You still can be though, because I mean, you could just play on someone else's account that's connected to a phone number. There will always be ways to abuse that, but I also think this would be kind of problematic in a couple ways. Sounds dumb, but not everyone has a phone. I guess I mean, technically that's true, but it's also really tedious. I personally wouldn't like giving out my my phone number to Riot. Probably a lot of people don't trust the company to even give them their phone number or like info like that. I'm gonna be honest, if I would install like a random game and they would ask me for my phone number, I'd be like, oh no thanks, I'll just play something else. So it would probably hurt like the player count by quite a bit.
So Riot knows that this does help, but for some reason they go to the complete opposite on ranked accounts where they have no validation. Why is that? The point that I'm trying to make here, for whatever reason, they are not concerned about it. Probably it doesn't affect them. It doesn't stop any of us from playing the game. We're still gonna.
This is not really true. Riot has actually done a lot to make it better for like new players and for like low elo players to not get stunned by Smurfs. Actually, recently, like last month, they've made it that new accounts now need to do 10 normal games at least to get a better placement. So you will be maybe put a bit higher if you're like a Smurf. Also, that's the whole reason Smurf Q exists. That's why they made it. So actual low elo players don't get stunned by this. Like, to say that they don't care and they don't really do anything is just not really true, because they do.
Gonna play it. I know that Riot's not a stupid company. They're obviously making money and they're doing
Disagree.
well for themselves. They're making these decisions for some reason that are beyond me. Riot's never.
I don't know what this is supposed to be. Number inflating, keep Q times down, promoting the league ecosystem. He's just asking questions. I don't know the answer. Yeah, don't know.
Going to be able to stop all the smurfing and boosting and inting and AFKers, but they have the systems that they could implement to severely reduce the amount.
You can't, there isn't really a system to reduce anything apart from just punishment, which is already there. Also, completely, like, he says the system is flawed, but flawed for who? Because I get inters in my rank games, at Diamond, at Monsters, I get inters. I get AFKs. I get people that are smurfing at my peak. So who exactly is it flawed for? Because we all are playing the same game versus the same people with the same trolls. Sure, it might be variance like a little bit depending on where you play, but for the most part, we're all playing the same game. I wanted to add one more thing here, because some people might think like, oh, but you're playing in Masters, you're playing in Diamond, you don't really get the bots, you don't really get like the 0 and 30 bot lanes, but you have to keep in mind that when you go higher up to like an actual Apex tier, there's different problems there at the lower elo. So you could like say, oh, but it's more bad for the lower elos. Not really, because in high elo you have a lot of soft inters. I think in bronze people probably don't even know how to soft int, but there's a lot of win training as well going on. You can get target griefed. You often queue into the same people when you're at a high elo. I've seen the same guy like 4 times this week in Master. So there's a lot more problems, or not more problems, but different problems in certain elos. So it's not like just because you're bronze, you're experiencing all these problems, and like in masters you're just chilling, playing with the good players. This is not true at all. I've had people go 0-20, run it down mid after dying twice. Like this happens everywhere.
Choosing not to. The police patrol the highway and they can't stop speeding from happening, but that doesn't mean we don't have the police catching speeders. The next time you're playing this game and it feels impossible to climb out a low elo, yes, you need to practice on your gameplay. Yes, you need to do research, educate, and work on what you can control as a player. But don't for a minute let everybody else tell you that you're just have no hands and your monitors turned off, because there are some definite real problems with climbing.
Let me just put his face up there so I can feel like I'm talking to him. Technically, it's true what he's saying, like saying when someone's complaining about like parts of the system and you're like, you have no hands, just get better. The way I look at ranked is if let's say Faker is on your account, would he climb? Probably. Let's say a pro player is on my account, would he climb better than me? Of course he would. I suck. So with that logic, you could just say like, okay, but just get better though, because other people would be able to do that. Which is, in my opinion, the best way to look at League, because that's how you actually improve. And the reason why people are so harsh and say like, oh, just grow hands, is because people hide behind this excuse of like, oh, but I'm in loser's queue, or the system is flawed, and that's why I can't climb. But then you look at their accounts, and they're like 600 games bronze 2. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to flame anyone, but if you're 600 game bronze 2, you are very below average. Very, very below average. And you need to do a lot of improving to even remotely think about climbing or like reaching a different elo. So that's why people say, just grow hands. I personally think you guys do have hands. I don't think you need 2 hands to even get out of bronze. You can probably do it with 1 hand. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I thought this was an interesting video. It's fun going over this. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.